Hello and welcome to the Unify YouTube channel. My name is Adara and we're kicking off a brand new series this week called Outbound Plays, where in each video, I'm going to walk you through how to take your most creative outbound ideas and automate them end to end with Unify. Now, this one is one of our LinkedIn Sales Navigator series, where we're going to walk you through a creative play for how to source leads from Sales Nav and then make that process automatic. I've watched a lot of Sales Navigator tutorials on YouTube, and while they do show you creative ways to find leads, you're often left with outbounding them manually. You either have to send them LinkedIn in-mail messages one by one, which is incredibly tedious and you're probably going to run out of credits pretty fast, or you're probably putting them in a static sequence, which means the messaging is completely static. It might not resonate with your prospects all that much, and unfortunately, because you're sending a lot of the same message, it might go straight to spam, which means all the hard work you're doing of sourcing these leads is going down the drain. So what do you do? Well, stick around because in the later half of this video, I'm going to show you how to go beyond the sourcing and how to use AI agents and workflow automation to take the pain out of outbounding and create a completely automatic, custom every single time sequence that generates pipeline for you again and again. Okay, let's get to it. So let's just say that you're starting out with your territory and that you want to outbound to people that are prospects at your key accounts to introduce yourself to them as their account manager and treat them to coffee. Now, if you have a very well-defined territory and that's already in Salesforce, you can just bring that in via account lists or people in CRM. But if you don't, then let's build that territory together and go after this exciting green field. So first, let's say we want to outbound to people that work at company sizes of 1 to 500. And let's say we're selling outbound software to heads of sales, heads of growth, and heads of business development. So first, we're going to filter by company headcount. We're going to say 1 through 10. And then we want to filter for people that live in San Francisco, which is different, just so you know, from company headquarters location, which is where their company is HQ'd. You just go to the personal section, geography, and type in San Francisco. And then last but not least, let's filter by job title. So let's say head of sales. Looking at this list, it looks pretty good, and these folks are who I would want to outbound. But I do notice one thing. I sell a product that's mostly to B2B companies. I want to filter out people that have these titles at B2C companies, but I don't have a way to do that in LinkedIn Sales Nav, so we're going to actually do that with Unify. But first, let's export this out of Sales Nav so that we can action on it. Now, there's a lot of tools that can do this for you, but the one I prefer is Phantom Buster. This lets me scrape and export data out of LinkedIn, and we're going to use the Sales Navigator search export. To use this, all we have to do is grab the URL from our search, select this export, paste it in here, and run. Now, I've already done this, so I'm just going to show you what that export looks like. And as we can see, there's no emails, which is not a problem because Unify does the enrichment for us. All right, we've been talking about Unify a lot. So what is it? Unify is an all-in-one platform for automating your most creative outbound ideas. It's a really powerful platform that our customers are using today to drive hundreds of meetings booked per month. I'm excited to pop open the hood and show you how to set up your Unify plays. So taking a look at the platform here, the first thing we see is a nav bar where on the left-hand side, we have 3 sections. The first section is exploring companies to outbound and people to outbound. The second section is all about running plays. Plays are the intelligence, the workflows, or the logic behind our outbound ideas. And the third section here are dashboards, which show us which plays are working, which ones are not, so we can get smarter about amplifying what works and turning off what doesn't. So what we're going to do now is upload our audience to the people section of Unify. All we have to do is click Upload CSV, give this audience a name, and then click Upload here, and make sure to select Email Enrichment and map the fields. Now, I've already done this, so we're going to move on to the next step, which is creating our play. A play is a workflow that runs on a trigger and that does the outbound automation for us. We can program this play however we like, and as you can see here, we have a blank canvas and a bunch of nodes that we can drop on the canvas to create these custom outbound workflows. So the first thing we're going to do is set off a trigger to run when a record enters my audience. Then we're going to qualify that person based on whether they work at a B2B or B2C company using an AI agent node. And then third, we're going to route them to the right sequence. We have 3 different personas with 3 different sequences. So this is the whole play. Let's now take a look at how the AI agent routing works. I really love the AI agent qualification node because we can essentially prompt this agent to qualify our accounts or our prospects in any way that is convenient for us. And then we can have it return variables here that we can use to reroute our workflow or that we can even use in our email copy. So the way I prompted this is not that complicated, but basically I just asked, does my lead work at a B2B company? And if it does, return true, and if not, return false. After that routing is complete, I want to enroll people in sequences. I basically did this by creating my 3 personas. Creating a persona in Unify is super easy. You just start typing the title of that persona, and we automatically suggest titles that are relevant for you, so that all you have to do is click on the title that you want to add and then save your persona, and you can also do exclusions. Now, what I did here is just route the persona to the sequence. So I have my head of growth persona going to my head of growth sequence, sales to sales, and BD to BD, and so on. Last but not least, let's take a look at the actual email in my sequences. So to completely customize this at scale, not only did I use variables like first name, company name, these are static, but I also used AI snippets that write copy dynamically based on prompting. I have 2 snippets in this email, which is an introduction, which explains why I'm reaching out to them and customizes it to their title. And then I also have a customer quote snippet here, which takes a quote that is from the most relevant customer and puts just that one quote in the email. Now, if I read this email and let's just say my persona is a growth persona, the intro snippet says, I'm reaching out because we work with leading growth teams. And then if I was to show you the sentence for sales, it would say, I'm reaching out because we work with leading sales teams. And so this part of the sequence is completely customized. And then of course, this last part here as well. Let's recap what we've built. We found our ideal audience of folks that we want to introduce ourselves to in our city. We put them into Unify and set off an automation that first qualifies those people based on whether they work at a B2B or a B2C company. If they work at a B2B company, we then route them based on their job title to the right sequence. And that's it. I hope this gave you some creative ideas for the kinds of outbound automations that you can start to run using Sales Navigator and Unify. As you can see, this play can be reused in many ways. For example, if you're traveling to New York next week, you just change SF to New York and instantly rerun this play and book meetings on your calendar. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you give this play a try, let me know how it works in the comments. If you're curious about bringing something like this at your company, you can also click the book a link demo in the description below, and a product expert like me would be happy to hop on a call with you and brainstorm how to bring your most creative outbound ideas to life. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.